Untold story of the vampire of Imo State, the rise and fall of Henry Chibueze. Dark clouds gathered over the streets of Imo State as fear slowly became part of everyday life. Whispers moved from one neighborhood to another. Parents warned their children to return home early. Traders closed their shops before sunset. The name on everyone's lips was vampire. But before the fear, before the headlines, and before the police manhunt that captured national attention, Henry Chibueze was just another young man trying to survive. Henry Chibueze was born and raised in the eastern part of Nigeria. Like many young people around him, he grew up in an environment filled with hardship, unemployment, and pressure to succeed quickly. Friends and neighbors described him as quiet but ambitious. He wanted money, respect, and influence. Unfortunately, the path he eventually chose would make him one of the most feared criminals in the country. As years passed, Henry became attracted to fast money and the dangerous lifestyle that came with it. He mixed with people involved in robbery and organized crime. At first, the crimes were small and hidden from public attention. But soon, the activities became more violent and coordinated. The nickname vampire did not come from superstition or horror stories. It came from the fear his operations created. Reports connected his gang to kidnappings, armed robbery, and attacks across parts of the southeast. Communities began living in fear. Travelers avoided certain roads at night. Families prayed constantly for safety. At the peak of his rise, Vampire and his gang reportedly operated from hidden camps inside forests and remote areas. These locations became difficult for security agencies to track. According to reports at the time, members of the gang carried sophisticated weapons and moved carefully to avoid arrest. What made the story more shocking was how quickly Henry Chibueze transformed from an unknown young man into a nationally recognized criminal figure. News reports spread across television, radio, and social media. Every new incident increased public fear. People started asking difficult questions. How did a young man from an ordinary background become so powerful? Why were so many youths attracted to criminal gangs? Could poverty, unemployment, and social pressure be pushing young people toward dangerous choices? These questions became part of a larger conversation happening across the country. As security agencies intensified investigations, the pressure on Vampire's network increased. Police and military forces launched several operations aimed at stopping the gang. Communities also began cooperating with authorities by sharing information. But the gang remained difficult to capture. Stories about secret hideouts and nighttime operations made the legend of Vampire even larger. Some people exaggerated the stories while others believed he had supernatural protection. Fear often causes rumors to grow beyond reality. Then came the operation that changed everything. Security forces reportedly discovered one of the gang's major hideouts inside a forest in Rivers State. The operation quickly turned into a serious confrontation. Gunfire echoed through the area as officers advanced into the camp. During the raid, several members of the gang were arrested, while others attempted to escape. The operation shocked the public because authorities uncovered weapons and evidence linked to criminal activities. Henry Chibueze himself reportedly tried to flee during the operation. But after years of running from the law, the man once feared across different states was finally captured. Images of his arrest spread rapidly online. For many Nigerians, the arrest marked the end of a terrifying chapter. Communities that had lived in fear finally felt some relief. Parents, who once worried constantly about kidnappings and attacks, began to hope for safer streets. But beyond the headlines and dramatic stories, the rise and fall of Henry Chibueze revealed deeper problems facing society. Many young people grow up surrounded by pressure to succeed quickly. Social media often glorifies wealth without showing the consequences behind illegal lifestyles. Some youths begin to believe that respect comes only through money and power. The story of Vampire became a warning about how dangerous that mindset can become. At the height of his influence, Henry Chibueze may have appeared powerful. His name created fear. His gang operated across different areas, but in the end, the same lifestyle brought destruction, arrests, and suffering. Families were affected, communities were traumatized, lives were changed forever. The fall of Vampire also showed the importance of community cooperation and law enforcement efforts. Criminal networks often survive when fear keeps people silent. But when communities and authorities work together, even the most feared groups can eventually be stopped.